All right, guys. So the next thing that I want you guys to have a look at today is something called tessellations. Tessellations have a long history, going back a long way, because for a lot of people, tessellations, using polygons to tile areas, is a big part of how they decorated palaces and all the most sumptuous buildings they could find. This is an example that comes from Morocco. And in Morocco, the artistic tradition there didn't allow for a long time a lot of depiction of people's faces or anything really figurative. So instead, they had this beautiful abstract tile based art that was adorning all their favorite places. And this is from Marrakesh, actually, in old Morocco. And you see the way they filled up all the space here with tiles of some color or other. And by using this tile, they tried to make floors and walls and ceilings and everything very ornate and very impressive to look at. And now, one guy who went to visit Morocco and see this kind of thing is a guy named M.C. Escher. You might have seen some of his drawings in the past. This is one of his famous ones, where he took the same idea of using repeated images over and over and making art out of it, except he tried to do different things with it. Like you see here, the image is actually changing slightly with the negative space here. This white space ends up becoming the actual image by the bottom here. Or if you look at it this way, the negative space, the black part, not the fish, ends up becoming the picture here of the bird as you go up. He did a lot of drawings like this. Like here's another famous one. This one's called The Encounter. And you can see these two figures are each part of the other figure, and then as they come around, the two figures that have been separated come around and say hello to each other. I'm not sure exactly what the handshake entails, what they have in mind, but that's another one of his drawings. Here's one as well. Depending on what you look at first, you see, well, is this a bunch of black drawings with the white left over inside, or is this really a bunch of white drawings with the black left over inside? And he's, again, making use of this whole idea of tessellations, which you guys are going to be doing as well. This is maybe a little less original than what you see in MC Escher, but this is something some Loyola students did in my class a couple of years ago. This one actually may have been from last year. And it's using a tool that you'll be using today. And really, the idea of it is that it's repeated use of polygons over and over and filling up the space to try and make a colorful design. Here's what another guy did. This one here, they overlap a bit more, which you can do as well, depending on how you want to make it look. Or here's another example as well. See, this guy's filling up the space. You notice for these guys, I've asked them to make sure that they have at least one pentagon, at least one hexagon, and you can't really see the octagons because they're all the lattice in there, and that all the white be gone. And so that's essentially what the task is that you'll be doing today. I'm going to show you the tool that they were using for this. It's something that you can find a link to in Moodle here, and it's just called Tessellation Artist. And this is what you see at first. It's something pretty plain. And you decide, okay, I'm going to pick a polygon, and I'm going to say how many sides I want my polygon to have. So I'm going to start out with an 8-sided polygon. Even though this thing here is a hexagon, I'm going to use 8 sides. I'm going to pick some color for it here, and then I'm just going to go somewhere on this place and start drawing them. And they all kind of draw at the same time. They sort of self-tessellate. And I'm going to make them kind of overlap like this, and then you can move them around and oh, look at that, they're flying around like that. Maybe I want them to look like this. And then this one always looks really strange when you pull this dot around. Like it's, ooh, what's going on there? It's like a 3-dimensional tesseract spaceship or something. I don't know what it is. And then when you decide, okay, I'm going to put my octagons like this. Maybe I want to make another shape here. Maybe I'll go and I'll pick a 5-sided shape. Or actually, those ones are changing on me. Let me pick something else here. I'm going to try coloring parts of this in here and here and here with red, so that it's just the white, can be used well, but it can be kind of boring. So I'm going to fill that in with some red. And now I'm going to go back to maybe pick another shape. I'm going to pick a 5-sided shape, and I'm going to make it not as thick as these ones were. I'm going to make it a bit thinner. I'm going to pick a different color. It's probably not going to blend very well. You guys will be better at this than me. And then I'm going to find some space on my little tessellation artist here and start making those appear, right? And you can have them not overlap at all. You can have them overlap a bit. And when you think you've got it right, you can even adjust it if you want, like rotate everything around like this again. Or again, you can shift the whole perspective that you're looking at it from. I always think this looks really neat, but again, you'll find something better to do with it than what I'm doing here. And you have these other tools here again to fill in the different colors that you want. Like, well, I like these spaces here to be, everywhere I see a space like that, I'm going to make it purple like that. Nice dark purple. It's a good color. And so with all the different tools that you have, and finding new ones here that I haven't shown you that I'm sure you'll be able to figure out, then you can make all kinds of interesting combinations like the other ones I showed you there. So that's essentially what this little task is asking you to do. You come up with a tessellation that matches the conditions that I'll show you in a second, and then you do a little screen capture and you email it to me. And then I have it, and then I can put together a little slideshow for you guys to look at and see what your classmates came up with. So essentially, again, let me just show you a couple of other examples I did. See this one here. This one, he sort of put the whole thing inside a big octagon. He put octagons and then pentagons inside and little hexagons inside this big octagon, and he colored it all in. This guy didn't even really want to use polygons so much. He used the circles function in the tessellation artist to make like this scary eye looking thing, which I think is kind of neat. But once you've come up with your design, and you've made sure that you've got at least one pentagon showing up in there, at least one octagon, and at least one hexagon, and that you've used colors to make so that there's no white showing except for there might be a little bit along some borders, and that you've used at least 4 different colors, screen capture your design, then email it to me, and then I'll get to see what you've come up with.